Hello and welcome to episode 106 of Bicycle Touring Talk. My name is George Schlacek. As the name suggests, I talk about bicycle touring. This series is about my coast-to-coast ride across Canada. Each episode covers a small part of the tour, telling you all I remember and showing you my best images and footage. If you're new here, I encourage you to check out previous videos as I'm building the most complete record of this epic bicycle adventure anywhere on the internet.
Wow!
This episode begins on Sunday, August the 6th, 2017 in Alexandria, Ontario. I had been stealth camping in a wooded area at the edge of town after having stopped at Tim Hortons for supper. Stealth camping typically means getting up early because chances of being discovered increase by the minute once the sun comes up. Tim Hortons was just half a kilometer away, so I went right back there for breakfast and to connect to the internet. Unfortunately, this particular Tim Hortons didn't have any power outlets, so I wasn't able to recharge any of my camera batteries, which were all low. At least I was able to visit Google Maps and get a better idea about my route toward Montreal. Finding the best way into Quebec was a challenge without a paper map. Yeah, so according to my map, I'm right here. Once done with breakfast, I ended up on quiet secondary roads and it meant good riding. But I got disoriented and had to correct the course when I found out I was going south instead of east. According to the map there is no road here. According to the map I'm crossing into Quebec almost right here, but I'm just gonna go down the road a little bit. It doesn't say dead end or anything. Maybe it's gonna be a nice quiet ride. And worst comes to worst, I'll have to backtrack, but I highly doubt it. Might end up on a gravel road though. That's alright. So I'm on a very small secondary road. There's a sign here, Bienvenue Saint-Justin de Newton. Well, according to the map, and according to my hunch that I have, I'm crossing into the province of Quebec right here. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. It's just such a small road that's not on the map even. It doesn't say Quebec, Ontario, nothing, none of that. But I'm gonna check right here what my total mileage is for the record. And I believe I'm starting a new phase of my trip. After over 5 weeks in Ontario, I'm entering the province of Quebec. Today I only did about 20.37 as you can probably see there. Now ride time 59 minutes, so I did that in an hour. Average speed 20, maximum speed 43, calories 299. I don't care about any of that. It's 6:26 in Edmonton. Total distance 7,246 kilometers I've done since May long weekend when I started this trip in Tofino. Eventually, I ended up following Route 340 right into the town of Vodroi. There was a big Super C grocery store where I stopped. It was lunchtime anyways. I probably looked pretty rough when I had my yogurt and trail mix sitting on a curb in the parking lot. I would have preferred a picnic table, but this was a typical Canadian suburban area with lots of big box stores and people in a hurry. Some gave me funny looks which made me feel really out of place. McDonald's was right across the street, so I took time for coffee and some more connecting to cyberspace. I had never toured with so much internet before, but I still had no paper map of Quebec and knew that Montreal was going to be a challenge. Route 340 eventually took me south of Highway 20, the expressway. From there, I was able to find people I could ask for directions. It was a great ride through beautiful neighborhoods and mostly along the St. Lawrence River.
Traffic was busy, but there seemed to be just as many bicycles as there were cars. I met another cyclist who gave me some directions and rode along with me for a while. About a decade earlier, I had been living on the south shore of Montreal, in the village of Carignan. That's why I wanted to continue my tour along the south shore and revisit some old memories. I was gonna have to cross the river, but it wasn't clear which would be the best route. Google was suggesting to go via Carignan, which suited me fine, even though it meant a 65-kilometer detour compared to the car route on Highway 20. The ride continued through park after park. It was great, and it seemed to go on forever. I passed through Pointe Claire, then Dorval, Lachine, and La Salle before it finally turned toward Nuns Island, just like the cyclist had told me. I was impressed by the Estacade, a bridge just for cyclists that ended up not quite on the south shore, but on an island across a canal. There was a gravel road going to the Victoria Bridge, which is Montreal's oldest. Once I arrived there, I got to witness the operation of the lift bridge across the canal, which was quite interesting. By the time the bridge opened a few minutes later, there was a small traffic backup. No, it wasn't cars, but cyclists. After arriving on the south shore, the navigating got difficult. There was a nice trail in easterly direction, but I didn't trust how far it would go and assumed that it wouldn't go through Carignan, where I used to live. What I knew was that Highway 112 goes through that area and beyond, so when I saw a sign for 112 East, I decided to follow it. That was a wrong move on my part, and something to do for a couple of cops who were sitting in their cruiser not too far away from the highway. Just as I was picking up speed on the extra wide shoulder, they showed up on a ramp next to me and turned on the siren to get my attention. I was ordered off the highway immediately and finally given a lecture about safety. This was kind of ironic because Highway 112 appeared to be much safer than most roads I had ridden on in Ontario. The incident left me disoriented, but with my finances intact. Those cops had their entertainment for the evening and ultimately tried to guide me into the right direction. But nothing seemed familiar. After some asking around, I found a bicycle trail. Once again, I was amazed at how well maintained and used this trail was. At first, I went into the wrong direction, which might have been just fine to go east, but not toward Carignan. Just before the sun set, I had sandwiches for supper in the park, probably in Longueuil. Then I thought I'd go on just until I found the right spot for camping. What followed was a bit of an odyssey around the south shore of the Montreal area. I used to live around there, so I thought I'd find the right way just by instinct. But things had changed so much, and the major highways were off limits. I put on extra kilometers by following a wrong trail toward Brossard, then Boulevard Grand Allée, only to backtrack toward the trail that I had already been on. By the time I was back there, it was pitch dark, except for the full moon. I found a wooded area, probably between Longueuil and Saint-Hubert, and pitched my tent. By the time I stopped, I had 160 kilometers on the trip odometer. Priority number 1 for the next day was to find a visitor center and get a map. Hopefully they'll have one with cycling trails as well. I don't think anyone ever had a problem falling asleep riding through so many city trails and streets and city trails. Despite not really knowing where I was relaxed and ready to pass out. Next week I'll tell you about how this odyssey continued and how I learned about La Route Verte, the bicycle trail system that spans the province of Quebec. There's definitely a big surprise in store for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please hit the like button once. If you're new to my channel, please check out some of my other content and consider subscribing. I'll see you soon.